Hello guys and welcome back to the SimpliCode programming channel. This is Vikesh and let's get started with today's topic, which is about how we can use the Streams API to sort collections and also to iterate over collections. And I'm going to use the same collections which we have used in the previous sessions just to build some sort of continuity here. So I'm going to use the same array list which I created in the previous session, which is storing a string of elements which is having three strings, which is Java, Python, and Scala. These are just three strings which I'm storing into a list, which is called languages. And now my task is to sort this particular collection. I have to sort the elements of this particular list so that when I access the list, I get the elements accessed in a natural sorting order. So I should get the result Java first, then Python as a second result, and Scala as the third result. Let's make it a bit more interesting. Let me put this at the beginning. So now I have an element starting with S being added first, then an element starting with J being added second, and the third element being added which starts with P. Let me add one more string to it just to make it a bit more interesting and practical. So let me add a new language here, which can be, let's call it basic. So now I have four elements here, and now I want to sort this particular collection. So for sorting, Streams API provide a very straightforward way to sort any kind of collection, which is to use the dot sorted method. And we will follow the same kind of semantics which we have followed in the previous session, which is you pick the current collection, call the dot stream method on it, which will convert the collection into a stream. And once the stream has been created, then you call the dot sorted method on the stream, which is going to sort all the elements of the stream in a natural sorting order. Remember, we are using strings here, so Java already knows how to sort strings. If you were using a custom class, let's say list of students or list of customers, then you have to specify your sorting implementation to Java because Java doesn't know how to sort customers or how to sort students. So in that case, you will have to provide your own sorting implementation. And we will cover that in the upcoming sessions. But for now, let's understand this example by using one of the pre-built data types, which is string. And we call the dot sorted method, which is going to sort this particular stream. And then we use the terminal operator, which is dot collect, to convert this stream back to a list. And we do that by calling collectors.toList. We do that and we get the list out. We store that list into a variable called sorted list, and then we print the sorted list. So let's run this program and understand the output. Remember that we have these strings added here. So right click, run as Java application, and this is the result I get. I get basic as the first element when I get the new list, which has all the sorted elements. Then I get Java with a J, then I get Python with a P, and then I get Scala with an S. So you can see that these strings are presented in a natural sorted sequential order here. And that is what is happening because we call the sorted method. And this is how you can use the Streams API to sort any kind of collection. Hope this is helpful to understand the concept of sorting. Now let's move on to another concept, which is about how do you iterate over collections using the Streams API. We already have a way of iterating over the collections using the enhanced for loop. Remember, we covered this at length in different sessions in the past. So we can definitely use this particular logic. It doesn't break. It will not stop us from using this. We can still continue using the enhanced for loop logic to iterate over any kind of collection. But Streams API provides even a smarter way to iterate over the collections. Let's see how we can do that. So let me uncomment this particular code here. And now if I look at this particular code and if I try to understand it, I will see a sort of similarity with the way we have been working with streams. So we'll follow the same drill. We'll pick up the existing collection, call the dot stream method on it. This is going to convert the collection into a stream. And then we call dot for each method. This is the method which you need to use whenever you want to iterate over a collection using the Streams API. So we call the dot for each method. Again, follow the same lambda construct where this is each of the element. Y represents each of the element here. And then I write the code which is supposed to be executed for each element. So in this case, I want to just print every element. That is my requirement when I'm iterating over this particular collection. So I can just put this arrow here. Let me put just spaces here to make it more legible. So each element should be applied this particular logic on, and we are printing each of the element one by one. If I do that, let's observe the output, and let me comment this particular code which we just covered for the sorting logic. So we get only one output. Let's run this code now. So here we see we get some output here. First of all, this sysout gets printed, which says printing all elements one by one. Yes, that's there. And then here we are saying element is, which is a static string, and then every element one by one is supposed to be printed. And that is what we see here. We get all the elements one by one. And here it's not a sorted order because we are not doing any sorting here. It's just printing all the elements. So this is how you can use the ForEach method to iterate over any collection in a single line of code instead of writing all of that code. Now you might be wondering, what if I have to do more than just printing the element? What is it is a multiple lines of code which I have to run for each element? How do I do that? It's pretty straightforward. We just put curly braces here in the starting and in the end of the code block inside the ForEach method. And let me just put an enter here just to make it more readable. So here you can write the code whatever you want to in terms of the kind of logic you want to apply on each element. So once you have put this curly braces, you can write as many lines of logic as required inside this code, inside this curly braces block, and this code is going to be executed for each of the element one by one. If you have just one line of code, you do not need to and you should not put the curly braces. If it's just one line of code, just drop this curly braces completely, remove the semicolon as well along with the curly braces, and this is how you will run a single line of code. But if you have a multiple lines of code which is required to be run for each of the element, then you put the curly braces and then you follow the normal Java construct, which is to end every statement with a semicolon, the usual Java programming code basically, which can go inside the curly braces. So that's how you can use ForEach for any simple and complex iteration logic which you want to apply on a particular program. And this is all I want to cover in today's session. So we talked about how we can use the .sorted method to sort a particular collection. And we also had a look at how we can use the streams API for each method to iterate over the collections. In the next session, we are going to talk about a very interesting method of the streams API and a very popular one, which is called the reduce functionality. If you like this video, a thumbs up would be massively appreciated. And please do not forget to subscribe to SimpliCode for more programming related videos. Thank you, and we'll meet again in the next session.